So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 1, consists of me, Falinsa, Rhiza, Tasya, and Yulianita. So today we would like to present the effect of dough cover towards the overall result of the toast bread. So for the independent variable, first is we use aluminum cover, second we use wet cloth cover, and the third is plastic wrap, and the last is no cover. And for dependent variable, we see from the texture, size, taste, and moisture. And for the control variable, brand of flour, amount of yeast, amount of sugar, duration of fermentation, temperature, and light intensity. For the hypothesis, the bread will have different results as dependent variable depend on how much exposure that it gets from the air. Next will be presented by Yulianita.
For the tools and materials, the tools there are scale, rolling pin, container, aluminum foil, and also plastic wrap. And for the materials, there are flour, instant yeast, bread improver, margarine, sugar, ice water, egg yolk, salt, eggs, milk, and filling or topping. For the procedure, first, we mix the flour, instant yeast, sugar, eggs, and water. After that, we knead until smooth, and then we add salt and margarine and knead it again until it is elastic. After that, shape the dough into a round shape and store it in a container covered with a wet cloth or with plastic wrap. But we missed something here because we also treat the dough with the cover of aluminum foil and also no cover. And then we continue to proofing until the dough has double size. Then we deflate the dough so the air will be expand, and then we divide the dough into a round shape of approximately around 45 grams, and we made four small size. Then rest the dough for 15 minutes, and then we shape again into a round shape and fill according to taste, and we proof again until it has double size. After that, we brush the surface of the bread with egg yolk and 1 tablespoon of liquid milk, and we bake it in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, remove the bread and place it on a wire rack to let the hot steam out of the bread. And when it is cold, we store it in an airtight container. Next will be delivered by Bilbil.
Okay, for the result, as you can see, there are 4 different dough in here. The first treatment, we give it with the aluminum foil. The second treatment is with wet cloth, the next with plastic wrap, and then last with the no cover. So that's for the before baking, and for the after baking, you can see the picture clearly that for the first treatment, the result coming from the aluminum cover, the texture is pretty dense, the size is smaller, and then the taste is similar like bread in usual, and then moisture is pretty dense because it's small. And then for the second treatment, for the wet cloth cover, the texture is not dense, it's chewy, it's a little bit bumpy, it's more more similar with the bread that we usually see around the store. And then the taste is like the bread, and then the moisture is not dense. It's just like the perfect moisture that we want from a bread. And then for the third treatment from the plastic wrap, for the texture, it's not dense, it's super bumpy. And then for the size, it's normal, it's not smaller in the normal one. And then the taste is similar with the taste of bread, and then the moisture is similar with the treatment 2. And then for the last, for the treatment 4 with no cover, the texture is very, very dense, and the size is very small. It's smaller, on the smaller side. The taste is not that delicious because the dense is like changing the taste a little bit. And then for the moisture, it's not moist, it's very dense. And then next, for the conclusion, is that the dough cover has a significant effect on the fermentation process on the bread result. The dough used an aluminum cover and doesn't use any cover. It produces a dense bread. Meanwhile, the dough that use a cover made from a wet cloth and plastic wrap produce the perfect bread because there is a trapped heat inside the temperature, so it can make the fermentation become more perfect. So the dough can perfectly blowing up into the perfect size that we want. And then that's all from our group. Thank you so much for listening, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.